The Sound of Silence, just a beautiful song by Paul Simon. And for my version, I played it capoed up at the 5th fret. That makes some of the stretches easier for sure, but it also lends a very nice ring to the sound. I think it's a very nice way to play it. But you can follow the tab, and you can play the whole song without a capo. The tab is notated as if you weren't using a capo. It just uses the regular, regular 1 1st fret, as if the capo didn't exist. So it's just a note about why I use the capo, and I'll be showing with the capo here in this instructional video. So to start out, I'm doing harmonics. It's a 7th fret harmonic, and not too hard to finger. You just have to make sure to let every note ring out as long as possible. So first I did the first bars, just the harmonics, those. Just try to let them ring as long as possible. And then doing the same notes but fretted now. And I added just a bit of vibrato on the one note that I'm fretting here on that G, the A on G string. And then the A to start, the A minor to start, and then the melody. And that's first one, because this song is basically nothing but verses. I really tried to vary the verses a little bit, either by adding the backbeat to it, or just articulating the melody a little stronger. So this first one I would suggest keeping it really quiet. Whether you add the backbeat later or not, keep it really quiet and spare. And there's a lot of hammer-ons in the song. Most of them down here at the 1st fret. And especially on this verse, the slides are really an effective way to bring the vocal phrasing to the forefront. And this is a very common hammer-on in this song, is the 3 open strings. Open strings D, G, and B, and hammering on 2nd fret on the D string, 1st fret on the B string. So again, like that. And when you're up this high on the guitar, intonation can be a problem, so vibrato is the best way to handle it. Add a lot of vibrato, and it'll help with the intonation. Now in this part, you're playing that melody solo without any support. So you want to give it a lot of vibrato, hit it really solid, and just give it a lot of character. So when you're supporting that F, give that a bit of vibrato too. And those next 2 notes, a little vibrato too. So you're echoing the beginning there, and I pick a little closer to the bridge to get that really to jump out. To emphasize the treble as opposed to down here. I move back here. And we're into the next verse, and this one I'm adding more support. Adding the backbeat here, and you can choose to do the backbeat or not, but I'll show the rest of the song with the backbeat. There again, moving my hand to the bridge. Next verse is really the same as that second, but now with a backbeat. And now in this part you have a big stretch here. When you capo up, it's not such a big stretch. If you don't want to do that stretch there, you can basically just go back to the second verse and play the same thing here, where I'm supporting this F like this instead of all the way down here like this. Like that, because it is a pretty big stretch. Again, if you're capoed, not such a big stretch, but... And that's kind of a tricky bit here. Just moving your fingers around there and adjusting while you're kind of sliding this around with the bass note. It definitely takes some practice. Okay, and then the next for this next verse, now I'm jumping down an octave, mainly for variety. And definitely gives a different feel to this verse. The main thing is to make sure the melody comes out. And as in the rest of the song, make sure you really are articulating the words. So you know the words. I always have the lyric sheet in front of me, and it may be a good idea as you go through this. So here we go. Back into the verse, but now an octave down. And I pick closer to the bridge, and often with my thumb, just to make it as clear as possible. And just like the rest of the song, you want to let the notes ring as long as possible. Then you kind of fade back in to the higher octave. And now going from playing the A on the E string to the A on the A string on the open A. Then the last verse is basically like the verses before the lower octave one, but now you just want to play with full energy. You're not slamming it, but with full energy and supporting all the notes with harmony. That sliding around there might be the trickiest part of the song, at least for me. Okay, and then we're at the end. So after okay, and just let that ring out. Now this, at the very end, again you want the notes, each note, to sound as long as possible. I'm picking close to the bridge, and then the harmonics again. Then I'm playing this A minor 7. And in the video you can see that I didn't notate this in the tab, but I'm just using the front of my middle finger, just like that. It's a very quiet sound, but it's kind of a cool brushing sound. So first I'm playing that A minor 7, and then just brushing, mainly on the top strings. It's nice if you can let the bass string ring out while you're doing that. And you can try other fingers too. The index may work well. I like the middle finger like that. Okay? Alright, hope this is useful. As always, please let me know any questions you may have. Thanks for watching.